Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we drew 1-1 against Union Berlin. In a game that very much sums up our season so far, which is poor. Very poor. We've had plenty of games this season where we definitely could have lost it, perhaps even should have lost it, and this one felt a little bit like it. They definitely had a better set first half. We kind of clawed our way back in the second half, but they still had chances to score a second or a third in the second half. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, they will definitely be the more disappointed team. We'll definitely be the team that will be significantly happier with the result. And a lot of that really stems from the fact that our defense is just not good enough. But it's not even like I'm saying this for the first time. It's been a story of our season so far that our defense is simply not good enough. We've had 4 clean sheets this season. The last game that we played, we had a clean sheet. We had a clean sheet against Schalke. World beaters, Schalke, yeah, no. We had a clean sheet against Atletico Madrid, a team that doesn't even know how to attack. And who else? There's one other that I'm forgetting, but it was someone else as well. So just from that perspective, poor, very, very poor. It's one of those things that we constantly. Excuse me. It's gonna be a bit dark, and I'm going through the park, and it's, as you can probably tell, there is absolutely no light. But it's just very, 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 very disappointing. Just very. You know what? Let me sit on the swing in the middle of. I don't even know what the entrance is. Damn it! Let me sit on the swing in the middle of darkness. And just talk about the game for a little bit. Is that the entrance? Yes, it is. I never go to this section of the park. I always go to the other section because over there they've got a football pitch, but not really this section. People are already on the swing, damn it. It's midnight. I just want to sit on my swing. Let me sit on the bumblebee then. The bumblebee. But yeah. Look, man. Is it clean? Feels like it. Woohoo! Yay. So look, man. Right. Actually, I'll go to a better place. I don't want to disturb those two with the drug deal. Probably. Knowing this area, it probably is. But real talk now. It is disappointing, considering that every single game, it seems like every single game I'm expecting us to concede goals. It's not like a one-off situation where it's like, oh, we concede a goal, well, boo-hoo. No, nowadays I'm just like, okay, we concede a goal, when do we score? Because basically, for as much as we concede, we also score. And that's what it boils down to. Like basically a guarantee at this point for both to happen. So just from that perspective, you really have to consider. The games, because if you're always scoring, and you really have to say, well, if we're always scoring, that's a good thing. Then you look at it also, you're like, well, we're always conceding. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. The opponent could be on a run list or on a goalless scoring spree for 50 games. They come up against us and they start to score, and that's the sad part. We have world-class players, world-class players in all positions. Some may say, well, Boateng, Zule, Alaba, they've not really performed this well that season. They're still world-class players. They're not performing, yes, but they're still world-class players. And you kind of have to find that distinction. Because just because a player is not playing well at the moment doesn't mean they're not world-class. So we still have players from front to back. Best goalkeeper, best striker, Coman, who's probably been, honestly, one of the top 3 wingers in world football. That's how good he's been this season. Absolutely fantastic. And we have to look at it and be like, yo, we need to be doing better. We need to be doing seriously better. And we're not. Now, fair play to Union. Union did quite well. Actually, they did really well, I have to say. There were plenty of opportunities. Again, that light is kind of annoying. But there were plenty of opportunities. There were plenty of opportunities for them to score in the first half. In the first half alone, I feel like they had 4 very good chances. 4 very good shots, and you really are hoping that like we get a little bit of luck. We had that moment in the first half. They scored after like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's just at least keep shop. Let's just at least not concede for the next 88 minutes. That's gonna be difficult, but let's just try. And you know what? We succeeded in that. That's a positive. Whoa, we got a positive here. But nah, like we're poor. We're poor, man. And cool, man. It's fantastic. Now, unluckily, when the game was happening, I went to get myself a plate to get myself some donuts. Because I had some donuts and I was going to get myself a plate so I didn't get the donuts all over me. In that 5 seconds that I quickly ran to the kitchen, got myself a plate, and I ran back upstairs, we scored. And I'm like, bruh, come on now. That's just my luck. Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong, right? But I watched the goal, and 11 else he scored, of course, but 99% Coleman. That goal was 99% Copa. Absolutely fantastic from the young Frenchman. Can you really call him young, I guess, because he's 24, 25, so he's not really young, but, you always say young when you're describing someone. From the excellent, from the young Frenchman. So we're going to call him young. Our defense was mediocre. I didn't think we were that bad. In terms of positioning, I didn't think we were that bad either. The thing that I really liked was the fact that we, the high line that we had, we didn't play quite as high. And you could tell that very much in that game, whereas like, they didn't really, granted they scored, obviously, but we didn't, and they had a few of them as well, but we really didn't have that many counters. They didn't have that many counters. They didn't really, attack us that much. Their attack usually came from a more quick attacking, but not necessarily counter football. So like I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, good. I quite like that. Good, very good. More of that. So we didn't quite play as high up as we usually did in like this season, because it hasn't worked this season. So it's good to see us change that up. But that also meant that our attack, our pressure up front, our midfield and our attack was lacking. There was massive spaces between our defense, our attack, and our midfield, and you can very much tell that we basically sacrificed more defensive, a more attacking approach for a more secure defensive one. And besides like the first, I can't even say besides like the first few minutes, because they scored plenty. Like besides the whole game, we didn't give them clear-cut chances. We gave them chances, but not clear-cut chances. So it's definitely better than in the past. But good enough? Not really. So, you all know my slogan, onwards, upwards and forwards. But I really do say, there wasn't really any players that really impressed me. There was no player that really impressed me. Like usually you have like 1 or 2 players that really impressed me. Davis, I felt today was very poor. A lot of like the simple things, the simple passes he got wrong today. Our defense, our centre backs, a little bit the same. They weren't poor defensively. But they were just okay. Like that's basically what it was. They were just okay. Not like great, not fantastic, not bad, just okay. Pavard got forwards a few times. I'd say he was okay too, to be completely honest. Nothing more than okay. Goretzka, okay. Musiala, I always talk a lot about these youngsters because I like talking about youngsters. But Musiala, I felt like he kept things a little bit too simple today. Which you always want to keep things simple. That's not a mistake. But I felt like he's got that spark. He's got that creativity in him, and I feel like today he was, just trying to get the ball, trying to pass it on, keep it simple. And it's fine keeping it simple when behind you your players. If you try to take on players that the players behind you can win the ball back for you. But even like when he was more advanced today, he had like some very good touches. Like the 1-2 with Lewandowski, the 1-2-1 with Goretzka, which ultimately gave us the free kick. All of them very good things. But considering that like he usually has much more of a bright spark. You know, it was kind of disappointing, to be completely honest. Then we move over to who else? Oh, who started? Coleman. Coleman came on live in the second half. Honestly, first half okay. Second half he came on live. Obviously got us the goal, but like I feel like even before and after that goal, he looked sharp. So that was good to see. Miller, one of his very poor performances. I didn't even know he was playing, to be completely honest. Gnabry had this one chance where it was like through on goal and then just poor touch, and well, it went wherever it went, whenever it went, somewhere, and I don't know where. Yay. But he's had a few good moments in the game, but because he's had so many bad moments as well today, really have to say like okay at best, honestly. Lewandowski, I know he scored. I thought he had a shocking performance, actually. I thought Lewandowski had a shocking performance, to be 100% honest with you. That opportunity where, you know, he kicks the ground and is like looking for a penalty, that's unfortunate, but it really shouldn't happen. Like, that used to happen to me when I was a kid. You know, when I got new boots, that would happen to me, and maybe that's his excuse. He's gonna say, "Oh yeah, well I got new shoes, haha." But like, that's one of those things that, like, once you have a shooting technique, you can't. It doesn't happen to you. Once you have a shooting technique, and Lewandowski's shooting technique is very good. Maybe one of these days, you know, I'll get myself a football and then I'll go to the pitch that I was talking about, and I'll show you what I mean. But I'm not like I'm not the person that realistically you should be like, oh yeah, I've got the perfect technique. I'm not Lewandowski, right? He's got a fantastic technique, but like hitting the ground really shouldn't be. You really shouldn't happen. Like, once it's a stupid thing to happen, especially in such a crucial moment. Disappointing. He's had a few through balls which were all too overhit. He's had a few through balls that were all underhit. Overall, I think he had a very poor performance, but he got a goal. So I guess okay too. I'm being harsh on these players, I know, but like, these players are world-class players and they're not showing it. They're not showing it. Like, usually, you know, they used to show it week in, week out, but they're not showing it at the moment. At the moment, they're quite poor, to be completely honest. They are not just quite poor, they are very poor. And yeah, the only solace I have is that the winter break is soon upon us. I know it's not a long winter break. It's a very short winter break, but it's still upon us in 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens in 2 weeks, and we'll see whether it all goes well. We'll see when we come back stronger, or we'll see whether it's just going to be the same old, to be completely honest. I fully expect it to be the same old. If we had a full winter break, you know, like a 4 or 5 week long winter break, I would be very, very confident, but we don't have that. And that's the disappointing part, that we simply don't have that. No, these players that joined us during the summer, they didn't have a full summer training camp, and they won't have a full winter training camp either. So we'll see how it all goes, ladies and gentlemen. Did I forget any players? Who came on? Let's see. Sané came on. He came on, showed a lot of promise. But he always does that when he comes on. That's the issue. He always shows a lot of promise when he comes on. You know, he looked very sharp. He looked very hungry. You know, he was very direct. That was all great when you come on in the 60th or 70th minute, and you have like 20 minutes to really exhaust all your energy. But like, I need that 90 minutes from you, bro. I need that for 90 minutes from you. Tolisso was shocking, actually. Like Tolisso came on like the 67th minute or so, and I feel like he misplaced more passes in those 23 minutes that he played than the whole team combined. That's what it felt like. Like, he was terrible, shocking, disappointing, very much disappointing. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting came on, looked okay, didn't really have too much time, you know, to really do much. It just looked okay. Who else? Am I missing someone? I don't think so. So just from that perspective, I guess that's my overall thoughts on the game. Not very good. Not. Another continuation of just our poor performances. What I can hope for now is very simple. What I want now is very simple. I want some good performances. But at least close this fantastic year, this year that has brought us a lot of joy and honestly a lot of disappointment as well, but predominantly joy. Um, let's let's ooh, shout there. Let's let's end this in a fantastic fashion. Let's end it in a strong fashion. We've got a few games left. Let's try and win those convincingly, right? Without conceding. We don't need to like win 4-5-0. I'm not asking for that. What I want the most is a clean sheet, because that's the aspect that we're lacking in. It's like last season. Last season, I mentioned constantly how like we're just so bad at set pieces. We've gotten better at them this season, but now we're bad. It's ridiculous. Like we improved on that set piece aspect, but now we can't defend. So now I want a clean sheet. Now I want us to defend. That's my goal. I want us to work on our weaknesses while still retain our strength. And that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. That's exactly the kind of football that not just football, play style that I need to see from us. But that is just my opinion, as you all know. Let me know what you all think about this game. Granted, we are first in the table currently. I think we might be on the same points as Leipzig. I'm not 100% sure. I think we're like 2 points ahead or 1 point ahead. Are we on the same point? No, actually, I think we might both be on 24 points. So, yeah. Obviously, they are real title challengers. You know, we all saw what happened to Dortmund. But, you know, just it is what it is. It is what it is. Mediocre. Mediocre is what I would call it, to be completely honest. Just mediocre. We can definitely do better. I definitely expect us to do better. I can't see a reason why we wouldn't do better in the following year, 2021. But when you play against teams that were promoted last season, I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think they were promoted last season. So not this season, last season. So when you're playing against a team that was promoted last season, you really expect and you really hope to do better. But that was obviously not the case here. So what can I say besides, we have to improve onwards, upwards, forwards. Yeah. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see how obviously we play our next 2 games. But this was quite disappointing. But that's all you have to. That's all you'll hear from me. That's all you'll hear from me. I will see all of you in the next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out, and as always,